Welcome to the fourth and final part of my Monday Night Raw and SmackDown series. We've done logos, we've done Monday Night Raw theme songs, we've done SmackDown theme songs, and now we do my favorite part, which is the stages of both Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. And if you enjoyed this series, give this video a like and subscribe. We're closing in on 3,000 subscribers, which I appreciate very much. Didn't think we'd get this far, but here we are. Now for this tier ranking, all I'm doing is I'm picking the main stages, like the ones that lasted a very long time. I'm not doing any special stages or anything like that, except for one. The categories are the GOAT, Great, Mid, No, and as always, Jail.
You right to jail.
And we start with the very first stage of Monday Night Raw in 1993, live from the Manhattan Center, and there is no stage, so I can't really judge this one. I can't fault anybody for it. It's not like I'm shitting on them. It's just the very first thing. There really wasn't a stage. There was just kind of banners everywhere of Monday Night Raw. What are we going to do with this? The only place I can really put this in is No, and that's just because there is no stage. It's not... That's just what it is. And then as the years start to go on, it gets a little bigger, gets a little more popular. They can afford a little bit of a stage. It's one of those LED stages where we kind of see from WrestleMania, from like WrestleMania 4, 5, and 6 or something like that. I'm going to be off with some of the dates and times of when these stages were because it's just, I'm going off the dome. I made no notes for this one. I'm just ripping it. So, I mean, there's a stage, there's an entranceway, it's LED, but like it doesn't even resemble Monday Night Raw. It's kind of just like its own thing. It's neon colors, like it doesn't represent the show or anything like that. So for that reason,
You right to jail.
we're going in jail. It just doesn't go with the show. That's all I'm saying. And then as we continue down the line, now we're in that 1996-ish range. We finally get a nice Raw logo. It's very simple. It's just the word Raw as a backdrop. And for some reason, I always like these little smaller, simpler stages. I just feel like it had a little bit more character. I like the realistic stuff. I like when they actually make real designs. It's not just LED lights and stuff like that. So I like stuff like this. I'm going to put this one in great. And as time goes on, we're entering the Attitude Era. Stone Cold is on the rise. Times are changing, and so are the stages. We're now introducing the Attitude Era type of stage. It's the big projector screen. It's got the silver pipe pillars on the side. There's a lot of blackout curtains. There's not much else. It's very, very simple, but it's the start of something great. And I love the base that this stage brings to it because eventually down the line, it gets bigger and it just gets better. And I love this as a start. We're also going to put this one in great. This is the beginning of the Attitude Era stages. This is that 1998 and 1999 stage. I love it. And I like the pipes. I don't know why. I'm always going to like the pipes. It's just like when I used to talk about the WrestleMania stages, where WrestleMania 18, it's just a bunch of pipes, mishaps, and I love it. I don't know what it is about it, but I like it a lot. And then we go to the debuting show, SmackDown, with a very, very unique stage, something we've never seen before in the oval stage. They introduced a new show. They brought a completely different style to SmackDown. It's an oval stage with a very oval projection screen. It's just on the side. It's not above the stage. Very different to look at. Very weird at first. When I was younger, I didn't really like the oval stage very much, but looking back at it, I would love if they brought this back in any type of way. If they tried to mimic it in any type of way, I would probably like if the oval was above it, but I think it's unique and it's such a weird way that I like it a lot. I love the entranceway. If you understand photography, it's like a framing thing. So like it brings it all to the center and it makes you stand out when you're standing there. And I like that a lot. So I really like this stage. Do I want to put it in the GOAT stage? I don't think so. I'm going to put it in great. I love it. Again, nostalgia is a motherfucker because I'll always love this stage no matter what. It's just my favorite. One of my favorites. And then we get to that period in 2001, like late 2000 that Raw is War stage. I call this the invasion stage because that's what I remember it the most. It's an upgrade from the Attitude Era stage. It's a little bit brighter. There's more brighter lights. There's a bigger ramp, and I'm a big ramp guy. I love ramps. I miss ramps, and I wish they would bring them back. We don't really get ramps anymore, which is really unfortunate. That's something that I miss that I haven't really talked about yet, but I just remember it because I could see it clearly right here. I like that it's an upgrade of the old Attitude Era stage. It's got more pipes. It's got like pillar pipes. It just kind of emphasizes a little bit more. The big projection screen has pipes all around it to kind of emphasize a little more. It's got the graphics of the Raw is War on the sides. It's not just metal pipes anymore. So it's like upgraded to the best degree, but it's still that old school type feeling. It's still like darker than especially what you'd see today. I like this stage a lot. This is one of my favorites. I'm going to put this is one of my GOATs. I love it. If they went back to something like this, I would be so happy. but it's so different times now. But this is one of my favorites. I will always love this stage. My 2001, 2002 stage, it's my favorite. And now we go to what I would assume is many people's, probably one of their favorites, the SmackDown Fist. WWE teased that they would bring back the Fist, and at least that's what I thought was going to happen. This lasted for a very long time. They kept this for... I think this is one of the longest running stages that they had overall. I'm pretty sure they had this from like 2002 to almost 2010, something like that, 2008. It's a long time, especially for a show. This is one of my favorites. It's literally the Ruthless Aggression era. That's like the prime. The big fist breaking the glass, and I love fisting so much. So this is always going to be in one of my tops. Fisting is awesome. We love the fist. It's so unique. It's so wacky to look at. It's one of the greatest of all time just because of how unique it truly is. Now we're on to the Monday Night Raw side of it in the Ruthless Aggression era. I just think it's a fantastic stage. It's very similar to the previous one. It's kind of just upgraded to the times. It's a little more fancy. They kind of got rid of all the pipes. They have like the metal grates. They got the weird, I guess it's like broken glass. I don't really know what that is on the sides of it. I'm not 100% sure what it is. But do I like it more than the Raw is War one? I don't think so, but again, if they brought it back, I would be so happy if they brought something like this back. Any one of the last 3 or 4 that we've done, I would be totally fine with. Those are my personal favorites growing up. Like, that's what I remember, especially the Ruthless Aggression era, like the core memories of that. And I was a little bit into the 2001, 2002 era, but really growing up, I remember the Ruthless Aggression era more. Ruthless Aggression era was a good time, and the stages were awesome. Still have the ramp. We never got rid of ramps. We want ramps. I'm going to start a new hashtag, just like how we had a hashtag for We Want Cody. Let's start a new hashtag We Want Ramps. And this is where we started to get drastic changes in the stages itself. They went completely a different route. They went completely LED lights and stuff like that. I don't like the LED stuff as much as I do the more practical stuff. I just think it's distracting and it's just super bright. It's super obnoxious. This is going to sound weird, but it's like, I don't like the curved Monday Night Raw at the top. This is also when they started using the same stage for both Raw and SmackDown, which I get from a standpoint of like production, because like when you're traveling and doing all that stuff, it's easier to set up the same thing and take it down. I'm sure the process was super fast because they were able to just keep doing the same thing over and over again instead of setting up 2 different stages, having 2 different crews and stuff like that. I get it from that standpoint, from a business standpoint and money standpoint. The stage is kind of off-center in a way, where it's like the curved entranceway. It's kind of off-center. The big screen in the middle, it's kind of off to the side. It's just weird to me. I don't know. I never liked this one that much. I don't like all the curves and stuff like that, and it's just super digital. So I'm going to put this one in mid. It's not like horrible, but I don't like these personally. This is just like personal preference stuff. I mean, it's a fucking tier list that I'm making. So, I mean, you know what? I'm going to put this one in no. I'm putting it in no. Because the next one, it's like an upgraded version of this that we chose for the SmackDown side, even though it's the same stage. But I think they started doing this stage specifically at Raw 1000 is when they started to change the stage a little bit. I like it from a framing perspective. I like when things are centered. I like when things are symmetrical and stuff like that. So I think that's why I have a problem with all the curves and stuff like that. I don't like the curved top from the one from like 2008. 2009, 2010, whenever it was. They made the newer one more symmetrical, and I like that a lot. I like the curved LED thing across the top. I like the horizontal curve versus the vertical curve. I don't know. I just like this one a little bit better. It's not like my favorite by any means, but I prefer this one over the previous one. This one is going to go in mid. And then I added this one because I noticed there's a slight different also curve, like a sunset curve over it. I don't really know why I added this one, but it's still going in mid, so it doesn't really matter. Then we go to SmackDown Live. This is around 2016. Again, similar stages for Raw and SmackDown at the time. I like this stage a lot better. I do wish that the big screen was a little bit bigger and it popped a little bit more, but I do love the design of like the digital boxes around everything. I love how they come out of the center, the entranceway, and I love the stage. I'm a big fan of the stage, and I love the ramp. Big fan of the ramp. Big fan of SmackDown Live. I like this design a lot. I think this is a great design, and I think it's much better than most of them. I'm putting SmackDown Live in like cream of the crop, one of the top great. I like it a lot. And if they went back to something like this, totally be cool with that. But what I don't like is this Monday Night Raw stage. I like the background of the stage. I don't like the actual digital screen itself. It's like a tarp. I don't know if you've ever done like a photo shoot, like if you've done like a family photo shoot because your family doesn't love you. So it's designed as if it was draped down and curved. I don't like that a lot. I think it looks kind of weird. You don't even come out from the center. You come out from the left side. If I'm being honest with you, I hate this one like more than most. I'm going to put this one in jail. I don't really like it a lot. I do like the background design of it, but I hate the curved draped tarp stage so much. I don't like it. It's going in jail. So we just had one of my least favorites to now my favorite stage of all time. I think this stage is amazing. This is a fantastic stage. Yeah, it's LED. Yeah, it's super bright. It pops like crazy. This is when SmackDown debuted on Fox, so they had to make it big. They had to make it shiny and fancy and bright and just the most spectacular thing you've ever seen, and I think they succeeded personally. This feels like a modern-day callback to the original SmackDown 20 years prior, and I think that's what they were trying to do, and I think they succeeded very well. Because they added the ovals kind of back. They have like the digital pillars that you come out of. It's a modern day classic 1999 SmackDown stage. And it's bigger, it's better, it's brighter. And I love it so much. I love the way it looks. I think it stands out so much from everybody else. And just the presentation and then the symmetry of it all. You have the pillars that align perfectly to make you stand out as the wrestler itself. I think it's perfect. And I love it so much. They should bring this back. I wish it stayed for longer, but unfortunately COVID happened. So then we got the first version of the Thunderdome, which it wasn't even called the Thunderdome because this is just like emergency, like holy shit, we're in shutdown now, COVID. What are we going to do? So this is just the Performance Center. So I can't fault them for that. It's just an LED screen with a little stage, but like, what are you going to do? It was like literally moments after COVID happened. There's not much they can do. It's going to no. I don't fault them for that, especially because when they actually had time to figure out what the hell are we going to do, like we're stuck in COVID for a while, so we have to create the Thunderdome. They designed a whole arena inside of the Performance Center and did the best that they could. They basically took what SmackDown Live stage and they made it into basically a newer version of it for the Thunderdome. And I want to give even more credit because I do want to include and shout out basically the whole presentation, not just the stage itself. While I love the stage, it reminds me of SmackDown Live. The whole presentation with like the ceiling and all that stuff, it just looks beautiful. It looks great to look at least from like a presentation standpoint. It's really weird to look at with all the freaking computer screens and stuff like that. I can't imagine doing that in front of not a live audience. It just seems weird. For what it's worth, the Thunderdome is fantastic. Like, it's great. They did a fantastic job with it. So once COVID ended, we were able to get fans back. We were able to get everybody back into the arenas and into the stadiums and stuff like that. Raw went with a big LED screen, very, very similar and remnants of WrestleMania 35, which if you've seen those videos and you know how I hate WrestleMania 35 in terms of the stage itself, because it's just, there's no passion behind it. There's no emphasis on anything. Like there's no design, no nothing. I gotta say, I've been to the show, so I've seen it personally. I don't mind the LED screens for Raw and SmackDown. I really don't. I actually kind of like them because they can do so much. And the way they were using the LED screen, it was more than just a screen. It was part of the entrance and it was part of just what they were trying to do. This one's a little different. I'm sure it's way easier to set up in terms of like traveling and stuff like that with both shows. So I get it from all those standpoints. But when you look at it in terms of like what we've seen so far, all of these screens, like just the big, they're kind of lazy. It's a little mid. And I just included this one for the hell of it. I included the after WrestleMania 40 Monday Night Raw stage because it's cool that they kind of did a little callback to like 1995, basically 30 years ago, when they kind of had that weird little ugly LED light one that I put in jail. I like that they kind of did something like that. There was so many people that bought tickets, they had to literally decrease the size of the stage, which is pretty cool. So I kind of just included this one because I like the little TitanTron. I wish there was a good category because I don't want to put it in great because like it's kind of simple, but like it's just fun. I don't know. I don't mind if they kept doing this very much. What I don't really like though, a lot of times too with the PLEs and stuff like that, they go to these stages, which it's not even a stage. It's not even like, it's literally just an entranceway. They're kind of getting away from this and that's the one thing I'm not a fan of right now with the shows in general is they don't put a lot of emphasis on the stages anymore. I kind of wish they would do that. They do it on Monday Night Raws when like it's super packed or if like they go overseas and stuff like that. If they go to an international show, they do where it's like it's not even a stage. It's just like the sides of the entranceway is LED like screens. I don't really like this very much. I kind of wish they would change that up a little bit. There's no effort into it and it's just I want more effort into that aspect of it. And then we go to basically what we get on a regular basis. It's basically kind of like the former big LED screens from like 2022 and 2023. The shows are getting so packed that they even have to condense them a little bit. So the good thing is that they're making the LED screens smaller and a little wider. But with that, there's no ramp. I want ramps back. Hashtag we want ramps. Let's start that shit. It's an LED screen. They put a little bit more design and effort behind the screen itself, but it's still like there's missing something. And I don't mind it. It's not what it used to be. And I sound like an old head when I say shit like that, but the current day stages, they're just going to go in mid because I don't hate them, but I don't love them either. There's no ramps. There's no stage. It's just a big screen again. There's a little bit more behind it. It is what it is. I do wish that they would do more with the stages. It would be cool if they went back to stuff like that. I want more physical stuff, and I just think it would be so much better. But I'm a little bit older, so my take on this stuff is a bit different from what you might think. You might not give a shit about what the stages look like at all, as long as the show is good, which I agree. If the show is good, I don't really give a fuck what's going on. But it'd be cool to have something when they come out, like a cool stage. That's all I'm saying. That's going to be my rankings for the Monday Night Raw and SmackDown stages. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you change. What is your favorite stage of all time? Let me know in the comments below. Let's try to get to 3,000 subs. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.